Mike, how do you think that American consumerism, attitudes towards materialism, and the way that we treat our money affects the church's willingness to give to social justice missions? Have you seen American consumerism or materialism impact, say, like your ability to like raise funds for social justice missions or things involved like that stateside? And have you seen that change over the years?
Yeah, I guess I would say in general, when I got involved in missions, it would have been back in 1992, and from then until today, I would say it's in general getting harder and harder to raise the kind of support that a missionary needs to go somewhere. And I know there's probably lots of factors, but just some general ones to me. It's just when people get more selfish with what they have, and their agenda is basically about their pursuit of their life, and they're not going to think about other people. And so they can go to church on Sunday and hear about, use the phrase social justice missions or holistic missions, and maybe they feel this, well, I want to support that kind of thing, but then they go back and say, well, but wait a minute, we want to get a 3-car garage instead of a 2-car garage, and we want this. And so I just feel like there's always this disconnect between, ideally, this is what I want to do for the Lord, but then I think the question is, who is the Lord of my money? And I think that preposition, my money, is the problem. I remember listening to Larry Burkett, who's a Christian finance guy, saying one time, asking himself, well, why has God given American Christians so much money? And he said, I can only come up with one reason why God would even allow that to happen in His sovereignty. And he said that would be to finance the Great Commission. I mean, why else would He just give us money just so we could have really nice lifestyles? And so I just think there's a disconnect there. And so it's these basic core values. Why do I have this money? And it's my money, and I'm in control of this money. And so if I'm in control of this money and I have a personal agenda, it's going to be really hard to give it to somebody else for their agenda. But if it's the kingdom agenda and it's all God's money, and I'm praying, Lord, how do you want me to use your money? That's a whole different story. So I do think it's getting harder, and I think in some way Americans, as we live with all that God has given us, we slowly fall asleep spiritually, and we just lose the mentality of I'm just managing God's resources, and it's more, no, this is my money. I worked hard for it. I've got my 401k, I've got my pension plan, I've got all these plans, and so I think we're kind of living in two worlds. We've got our theological church world, and then we've got our everyday world with all of our stuff.
Well, that kind of leads